get into it. Spawning in the top right hand side of Yonsu from SYF Gaming, it is DemiLove. Down in the bottom left hand corner we have our pink Terran, currently teamless I believe. It is Dane. Oh, he's spotting the MSI clan tag thing, so we're gonna clan decal, so we'll give him MSIEvoGTDane. There we go. Alright, so what are we going to see from our Terran here? Of course, it looks like he's going to just build his initial supply depot up on the high ground like you usually do see from pretty much any Terran these days. And Demi, of course, throwing out his first Overlord to send that across the map. His second Overlord has just spawned and he's moving down to that natural... Oh, okay, it's not moving very far at all. I thought I was going to head across the map there, but not just yet, apparently, as a drone scout is actually coming out here from Demi to make sure there is no crazy... Maybe he's a bit scared of 1111, maybe, so he's going to send that drone out to see the count basically on the other side of the map and see what is up again. So there is a gas coming down here from Dane, so it looks like we may see a Reaper opening here from Dane, as there is a lot of places to jump up here for the Reapers on the map of Yonsu. The whole front here area of the main can be jumped up into, then there's also the little gaps over here in behind the natural, so he's got plenty of room to jump around. And then you've also got that little secret area, of course, down here where you've got the double jump up there, so the Reapers can get in and out there very nicely. And DemiLove right now throwing down his hatch first is very happy with that, and actually the drone here for DemiLove trying to just weaken that SCV, making the barracks, maybe trying to delay the building of that, but it does not happen. It just builds as planned, and the Reaper should begin momentarily. There we go, and that does begin. And we do have an SCV. He's just going to poke down into the natural and before he moves up there to put down his next supply depot. As yeah, the drone is going to start heading home here for Demi. He's got his pool after his gas, so it's going to be a little bit tight when that Reaper does come in. He will have to throw down some drone micro and maybe try and save the drones as much as he can, of course, as yeah, he's going to be a little bit late on those Lings and Queens, of course, with that gas first. Now we see the Overlords here for Demi. He's going to move around. He's just going to find himself a high ground position up here with these trees and just hide out the way. And just wait out basically on the expansion here of the Terran to see the timing of that. You can also see the gases perfectly from up here, but he isn't going to move it there quite yet. Actually, I've never seen this before, but there's a little encampment there. That's pretty cool to see. But anyway, the Reaper has made it across the map and is moving away. And, oh, sorry, moving on his way in here into the main, and he does find himself some drones, and he's weakening this one. He will save it with an extractor though, but the other one does get targeted straight away. It is moving around. He's going to try and force that one to build something as well. No, he does put a little bit of an attack down on a couple other drones, but he does have to make something there. The first queen has only just been made here for Demi. I think he may have forgotten it, but hopefully not. But he does have Lings out now to try and push them away as much as he can. But the second Reaper is about to join him, so there's going to be a lot of troubles about to come out here from Demi, as his Queens were a little bit late, I think. And yeah, he's going to have just Lings up against two Reapers here, which is going to be super painful. We do have that factory coming down though from Dane on the other side of the map, and this Reaper's still just being a pain. He takes down two Lings now. Only two Lings left here to defend. He needs the more to spawn as soon as possible, or he's going to have a lot of drones missing very soon. As yeah, one goes down there. He does say, I think he did cancel one. Yeah, he did cancel the spore crawl over there that one drone was making, but he kept the gas. Now we do have Lings on the other side of the map, and he actually delays the command center right now. How many Lings do we have across here? Just two, but he does take down the SUV. One, actually, he made three Reapers, and one has had to come home and try and force those Lings away, and he does kill them off. And it looks like one Reaper got picked off over here, but the other one is still just roaming around. Let's check out the units lost here for both players. So just the one Reaper going down. So he did lose that one across the map here for yeah, just unfortunately being a little bit lazy with his micro. He was distracted though by the Lings on the other side of the map, so I think saving his command center and getting that up and done was more important than the Reapers on the other side of the map. So not too much of a loss for him. We do see Demi, he's pretty much cut his gas production completely. He does have his Ling speed, so he can be a little aggressive with some Lings if he feels like it, but there is no Walt the Natural, of course. But he also does have the wall to worry about up on the high ground, and he does start his Hellion production now. Two on the way, and most likely we'll see another two on the way up. And what are these Reapers doing? He's just moving them every now and again. Okay, so Demi moving across his drone right now. He's going to go and take himself a 30. He feels safe now. He knows it's going to be a little bit later now before anything else kind of moves across the map. He can maybe make his Evo chamber wall down here at the natural. And we're actually seeing, I saw the tech layer coming down in the production tab, but I wasn't sure what was going down on. It looks like it was the barracks, and I did see a starport, so I completely missed the Banshee. Is that already out on the field? No, the first Banshee is on the way, though. It is going to be cloak Banshees, of course, but we do see the Overlord of Demi coming in, seeing that straight away, and he throws up his Spore Crawler straight away to be able to defend against this. This third base has been spotted, though, by Dane. There's 2 extra Hellions are moving their way across the map to add damage on here. How many Lings do we have here for our friend Demi, as he has a lot of Lings on? Actually, yeah, he does have a few Lings on the way. I thought I saw too many drones there, but it wasn't too many. Queens are going to move down here and try and defend this base. It did lose a lot of health, which is a bit worrying for Demi if a couple of big drops come his way. And of course the Banshees, and now the first Banshee is making its way across the map right now to add a little bit of pain here for Demi to try and defend, but we do have 3 Queens to defend the ground army, which is going to be pretty good for him, of course. And we also have the Spore Crawler if the Banshee tries to get a little bit shifty, of course, with its cloak, and he can move that forward a little bit too now as well, but he isn't going to just yet. He is targeting down, okay, he is targeting down the Banshee now. It is getting pushed away. He doesn't quite lose it, but he is losing a lot of Lings on the ground to those Hellions. The bush is on fire as well. Everything going down on this side of the map here for Demi, especially his Lings. His Queens are still up and defending. He's moved that Spore Crawler in position on top of that base, so he's been able to set up quite nicely by pushing it back. When that Spore Crawler does come down, he's just out of range. If he can't quite see it right now. He does need to maybe try and bait it back, but Lings are coming in at the back to try and clean up these Hellions, but he still hasn't really got one yet, and they're still going very, very well as the next Banshee is now on the way across the map here for our Terran player. Now what do we have? We have more and more Lings spawning in here for Demi, but the supply count is definitely in the favour here of our Terran. If this goes on for much longer without the Zerg cleaning up, it's going to be very, very troublesome indeed here for our Zerg, as the Terran is pushing through right now. The Banshee micro is pretty good from him so far. He's kept him alive, but unfortunately just loses one there. A bit of a misstep with it, only having a little bit of health left. And that does go down, but it is in the sight range of that Spore Crawler right now, but the Queens are too busy trying to defend against the Hellions and the Reapers as more and more come across the map. Bling's going into overdrive right now, trying to defend against this many Hellions. It's going to be troublesome, of course. He doesn't even throw down the Roach Run right now, but he can't really at the moment. He doesn't really have... Actually, he does have the supplies too, but the Queen's count is severely dropping. This third base is going to go down, but he has got a wall off at his natural, so he can bank on that for a little while and defend there, but he is going to lose his third by the look of it. As, actually, the amount of Lings coming out, if he's able to push this back, he might just be fine. The Lings are starting to clean up, but they are getting cleaned up themselves. It's Queen versus Banshee right now. It looks like this Banshee is going to go down. Yes, it does. He's doesn't have to worry about the air units right now. All he needs to worry about, of course, is the Hellions. He's starting to get a bit of a Ling army, and he's starting to steady out a little bit, but this base is so weak. The Hellions could kind of just come in here and maybe just focus it down and win. Win the battle here anyway, and just push away, but he would lose a few Hellions, of course. He's going to keep poking in. He needs the Lings into position to defend, so he doesn't keep getting these pokes off, and it's going to be costly if he doesn't stop it soon, of course. Losing that third base, especially against a Terran, I believe, who's made his third command center, and hasn't quite flown it down, but here we go. The Lings are moving into position here to clean it all up. Another Banshee is coming in. Those Hellions are starting to get a little bit weak. More and more Lings coming in. He does clean up all the Hellions there. Full surround on that last one. That one's not going anywhere, and this push has been held, but how costly was it here for Demi? He's lost so many units. He has lost so many Queens. We also have the Banshee trying to poke in, and he's just going to focus down on that hatchery, and that is definitely going down. There is no stopping that Banshee. Banshee gets a kill on that hatchery. A little bit disappointing there for Demi, of course. And now what does the Terran have back at home? He's been pushing so hard across the map. His unit count back at home is actually not too great, of course. He did lose all his Hellions before. It looks like he is transitioning back into bio, of course. We did see Stim researching just before, and 1-1 is now on the way here for our Terran play. So the Terran threw a lot of Hellion Banshee at that third base, and it took a long time for him to get it, so it wasn't worth it in the end for him, as the Spire is now on the way. 1-1 is about to finish for our Zerg, and he's retaking his third base, and he should be able to defend it from here, but he does have a idle drone there. He will probably clean and fix up pretty shortly. See the gas count coming up. He does finally take his natural gases to support that Spire coming out. We do have a Viking actually coming out of that starport here from Terran to be able to clean up scouting overlords. Both players basically have their upgrades in sync right now, as you can see on the right hand side, as 1-1 basically about to finish at the same time for all of them. The Rucks defending that third base, the gap between the third and the second is going to go down with the Hellions and the Marines taking that down. And looks like Demi's going to do the same thing on the other side of the map. He can move some Lings around to the bottom side and clean that up himself. but not worrying about it too much right now, as a bit of a Hellion harassment goes into the main right here right now. Let's check out the drone count here. Dane up to 10 right now. He's even going to pick off an extractor. There is detection, sorry, that just in sight of that spore crawler, and they're going to be pushed away. The Overseer though is about to finish, so he's going to be able to stay on top of it. He needs to go over there and defend as soon as possible so that extractor does not go down. A little bit of a mistake coming down there from DemiLove as well, with 4 workers on that, but he does clean it up and the Banshee goes down. So there's a little bit unfortunate there for Dane not microing that back and saving that off. Now DemiLove is in a bit of a disaster right now. He is 30 supply down basically of the Terran, and he is going into 2-2, of course. That's going to help him dearly, but he doesn't really have the gas to supply, or basically to supply his mutas. He does have a Spire, it has completed. He hasn't created any mutas as of yet, but he hasn't been able to afford it. He is going to start his upgrades though for his ground units. Is basically going to be his driving force here at the moment. He is getting his extra gases now down at his third. The third base is basically established already though for our Terran player, who's now making his flanner, and he also has a siege tank, a bit of old school player right there, with the siege tank defending that third base, as yeah, the Vikings just cruising around trying to find himself some scouting overlords, and there's only really one scouting overlord on the map right now for Demi, and that is this one right here. Check out that vision. That's the only vision he has at the base. But as scan goes down, he's cleaning up some creep tumors here, Dane, and he's going to try and push in and cancel this upgrade. And it looks like it will go down. There's no bailing speed just yet, but if he does get a good wraparound on these lings, it could be costly for Dane, as he does not have enough space in those medivacs for all these units, of course. And he does pick up, and it looks like he's going to elevate up onto the high ground, and that's going to do him wonders, of course. But the bailing speed is very, very close to finishing, 4 seconds off, and he should be able to defend from here, as his creep team are going to be able to keep that creep spread just a little bit where he wants it. As the drop going to try and move up to the main. Yes, he does find that. Is he going to pull back into the medivacs in time? It looks like. Oh, okay. Demi pulled back at the last second there, but it's just going to be pick up and dropsies for now, while a double drop. And is there any more following? Yes, there is more units following it across the map to that third base, and there's not really much to defend over there, as Demi's got all of his army focused here at the top side of the map, and he moves almost all his army down there to defend, but he doesn't micro his units at all, Dane, over there, and he loses all of them, even down at the third base, and he's going to keep pushing forward. The splits are happening now, but they were a bit late earlier on. And the split's definitely helping a lot there for our Terran player Dane, as he pushes in, and he's going to try and get himself a lot of drone kills here as he moves in behind that mineral line. One muta just basically sacrificing himself for the greater good there of the drones. And now Banelin's coming in. No, it's not going to be enough actually.